I already messed it up. Hey, hey, hey! If you're hearing us sing that song, that means it's Monday, day night at 8 p.m., which means it's time for another episode of FM Rager. Hey, everybody, I'm your host, Connor Clifton, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Ned Gale. Ned, how the heck are you?
Man, I'm doing great. It's a Monday after night, and I'm drinking myself a ham.
Me too.
Ooh,
That's right, Terrible Trim. We are drinking ham.
Hams are on the table.
From the land of sky blue water. Is that where Hams is from? Yeah, it is. Born in the land of sky blue waters.
Oh, it's great to hear.
Jeez, Jason knows the copy of this stuff. Lone Star and a big plate of wings, please. Jack, guess what? We got
some great news for you, bud.
We're going to get wings tonight. We're at the break. We're going to order ourselves some food. We're going to get wings. And then we'll bring in our guests.
We're actually we're ordering from Wingstop if anyone wants to help draft up our sauces for tonight.
Don't bother. I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I know what I'm getting as well. But if you want to say like your favorite wing flavor, that might be cute.
You can always, we're always down for wing talk. Ned, how has your freaking week been?
My freaking week bean's good. My week has been good.
Good.
What did we watched Videodrome this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Had a great time with that.
We watched Videodrome.
Hung out. It got rainy. It got very cold. Dealing with that.
It was a long day. It was a long, windy, rainy day yesterday, and our house is freezing fucking cold.
Yeah. Oh, we lost power for a little bit yesterday. The wind whipped the damn cables out for most of our area of town, it looked like.
We lost internet Friday. The recycling came and ripped out all of our internet.
That's very kind of them.
Then we got internet back Saturday, and then Sunday we lost power because the wind was whipping. Yeah, and yep, you're right. The whole neighborhood power was out. Ellen Barker's Long Live the New Flesh. Yes, that was in the movie Videodrome. It was my first time watching it. It was very cool. Let me ask you all this in the chat. And Ned, we had this conversation briefly. Is Videodrome cyberpunk?
Oh, yeah.
I say it takes elements of cyberpunk, but it is not cyberpunk.
Okay. It's hard to disagree with that, I suppose. I think it has enough elements to be considered cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It sounds like we both agreed that what elements are cyberpunk based on our conversation
That's
before.
True. I just wonder if that's enough to tip it over.
How much more does it need? Does it just need like some kanji on the screen for you to consider it cyberpunk?
Maybe kanji, maybe like some weird neon aesthetic. I don't know, but because really all it had was just this like and it could have been a drug and fueled hallucination, but this idea that your flesh and technology confused together.
Right.
So I don't know if that's really
the integration and not necessarily giving your body up to technology, like getting the new flesh, throwing your body into it.
All right. Okay, so we watched that. What else did we do? I feel like we saw Cody.
Saw Cody for a little bit. Recorded a brand new episode of Honey, I Shrunk the Binge out this Wednesday. In the morning. I don't know. I was like at 8 a.m.
Man, I guessed it on a friend of the show, Travis Reyes' podcast, and I had to watch.
Yeah, you watched a lot of movies.
I watched a lot of movies. I watched Fight Club.
Mm-hmm.
I watched The Matrix, and I watched Office Space. All 1999 movies about being disaffected with your job.
I didn't realize they were all the same year.
Oh yeah,
damn.
Yeah, all 1999. It was a wild year, as we found out. A lot of stuff happened in '99.
Yeah, it was right before the millennium. I feel like everyone was on edge.
Yeah, they really were. And keep an eye out for the Spin Doctrine. That I don't know when exactly that episode's dropping, but I'm on it, and it was cool. So I watched a lot of movies like that and got thinking a lot about like the fucking man. And how I want to tell my boss to shove it. But no, The Matrix sucked. Fight Club is pretty good up until the last 30 minutes. and Office Space is solid all the way through. It is such a phenomenal movie.
This is a house of Mike Judge fans here.
Oh, yeah.
I still think
Yeah.
Extract is the easiest movie to watch in the world. I love that movie so much.
Extract is great. What about y'all in the chat? How was your weekend? How has your week been? We haven't seen you in just a matter of hours. What's that? How have we been talking to you so much? Well, the Rage Cord is alive and well since last week. If you don't know what the Rage Cord is, we'll also talk about it at the end of the show. We have a Discord channel now, so we can keep the effing conversation going.
Yeah, and if you do want to join the Rage Cord, you can always hop on over to our
Our website.
Yeah, you can hop on over to effenrager.com. That's right, effenrager.com, the most fantastic website on the web. You can see the show happening right now on the website, actually.
Wow.
And if you scroll right down here, you could keep the effing conversation going. Click that link, and that'll open up Discord for you.
One of the things we were talking about today in the Discord was crock pots. Guys, it's time for crock talk. What are y'all making in the crock pots? Ned, you've made one thing in the crock pot so
I
far.
made some tortilla soup in the crock pot. Now, we've got a smaller crock pot, so it's a little trickier to do things in there.
Very small.
But,
It's a pretty small
I
crock pot.
kind of like it. We cut everything in half, get a nice little serving out of it. So if you guys got some crock pot recipes in there, oh no, I'm hearing that crock pots are banned.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about why Emily Hines does not like crock pots. Let's see. JK to AK is saying the Discord channel is very active. Lots of notifications. You can always mute your notifications.
Can mute your notifications. We'll not show you how to do that on the show, but you can figure it out yourself.
So what do y'all like making in your crock pots? What's fun? What's a cool thing to make? Because your tortilla soup that you make, Ned, is very, very good. I know I want to make some buffalo chicken dip.
Some dip? Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, we need to turn that thing into a damn dip machine.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess people don't really want to talk about the crock pot because they've been talking about the crock pot all fucking day.
Hey, speaking of delicious dip, I've got this new pack of cards here.
Oh, shit.
We haven't
Okay.
opened up, and it's actually got some delicious dip on the front of it here. Little puke dip. You can see that. Why don't we crack this bad boy open?
Why don't you go ahead and give me the wrapper once you're done?
Yeah, so we're talking about Toxic High School here. I was going to use a transition earlier of saying, speaking of telling your boss to shove it, you can tell your teachers to shove it with this fantastic collection of trading cards.
Let's see here. It was $2. We got it at Black's Bodega. All right, what do we got from the Toxic High School? Rated PG for pretty gross.
So I'll show some stickers off real quick. These are already looking pretty exciting. We got like kind of a snail head here, I think, a little nose head. It's really hard to look at these if I'm showing it to the camera. Boop.
Now, these
What do you got in here?
These are marked as 25 cents a pack. You bought this for $2.
I did.
Inflation is wild. Let's see. This came out in like the 80s or something.
But see, the problem is
1991.
I went to Toxic High School, and that's where I learned math. So I don't realize I'm being ripped off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my math class was taught by... Oh, wait. Actually, my French class. Whoa. Talking about the art of kissing.
That's funny.
What else we got here?
Some of these are kind of weird.
I like this. A hallway romance. Good looks always win out.
This is Warren forgot his gym suit, but he brought the coach's swimsuit. Pretty funny to me.
I like it. Ooh, and then the wrestling team. After the match, they never quit. We've got two young men continuing to wrestle.
Let's see here. Uh-oh, now people are saying crock pots are a sucker's game. Instant Pot is where it's at. My beef with Instant Pots is that they actually take multiple instants. They should be called in a couple minutes pots, if anything. There's no off switch for this guy. How does he do it? Oh, man, my phone's going off. My bad. Sorry, y'all. Being unprofesh right now.
Wow, insane.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Instapots are also banned. Ooh, we got
Damn,
a controversial
I'm
guest
loving
today.
this.
We got somebody who's got something to say. All right. What else is going on? We talked about the crock pots. We opened a booster pack. Did we talk about Santa shit? Is Santa still
We
going
can
on?
talk about some Santa shit. I don't know if we want to talk to our guests about Santa shit.
We're gonna talk to our guest about Santa shit. We got a lot of stuff to talk to our guest about.
Yeah. Well, you want to talk about what we're going to do before we move out of the house for our episode on the 28th?
All right. So we have talked about it, and we're going to make a post about it. We're going to bring some attention to this so we can do it. But we have figured out what we're going to do for our last stream in this house on December 28th. Mark your calendars, because we're going to do a... Did we come up with a specific name for it? It's like
No specific name. We'll call it Party Tricks for
Party
right now.
Tricks. Yeah, we're doing like a party trick show, kind of like a talent show. Everybody can join. We're going to have like a big Zoom room. Everyone can join. And if you got a trick or something that you want to show off or say or whatever, you'll have your chance.
Do yourself a card trick. Show us that you can hula hoop now, or show us something you've made during quarantine or something like that. We'll give everybody their own specific amount of time, probably like 30 seconds to 10 seconds. No,
Yeah,
no, we'll give you some time to talk, or if you just want to talk, that could be your party trick.
It will be the last show that we do in the Effin Mansion, part 1. Then we're going to move to the new Effin Mansion.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone is welcome. Anyone can join. And since we both have the day off the next day, who knows? Maybe we'll go all night.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll be blasted.
Yeah, we might get fucked up too. A lot of people talking about Dutch ovens, air fryers. Not a lot of talk about how cool. What a fun idea that y'all are doing. Kind of weird.
Remember,
kinda weird.
there is a delay. Wait, I got a message here on the rage line. Let's see what's here.
What we got?
Oh, someone just sent me a card that they have from Toxic High School.
Oh
This
my
rules.
god. Can we say who? Do we know who sent it in?
I do not.
All right. If you sent this in, let us know.
Wait, let me get this bad boy here.
Do we recognize that table? If you sent it, Ellen Bodker said it was me. Thank you. Thank you for
of
sending
course
this
you have
in, Ellen
Toxic High
Bodker.
School cards.
Yeah.
That should have been my first guess. Let's see what we got here. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, now JK to AK is joining in on the chat. He says that
I love
grilling,
this one.
lean mean grilling machine. I had a George Foreman lean mean grilling machine. I hated it.
I like those Foremans.
I wasn't too into them.
Oh, we got another message from here. Everything I learned about Crockpot, I learned from this book. Ooh.
All right. Who sent this in? Kind of looks like my dad's phone number, but I know it's not him.
Does your dad watch?
No.
Does your dad have any Crockpot recipes?
No, my dad doesn't. My dad grills. He doesn't. He makes like a couple things. I'm a better cook than him, and he knows it, and he admits it. Like whenever I go over to his house, I'll make food. I don't even know if my dad knows he knows we do this show, but I don't think he knows what Twitch is.
I don't think my parents know what Twitch is either.
Your mom doesn't watch? I feel like I've seen your mom go off in the chat before.
She would go off in the chat in the Facebook Live, and she would just say, "Hey, your mom's checking in." I was like, "No,
That's right.
We're talking about boners."
Odo Race Car says, "'Twas my book." Well, thank you for sending that in, Odo Race Car. Okay, so we're gonna bring your guest on in a little bit, unless we got something else.
I got nothing else, man.
All right. Before we bring your guest on, we've got a little sketch that we're gonna show. It's an oldie. It's a classic. We filmed it last year. It's got JK to AK in it. It's got Shannon in it. It's got Lasco in it, who we haven't had on the show. We should get Lasco sometime.
We should definitely get Lasco on the show.
Yeah.
I need to crack that nut, figure out what's inside that.
He's funny. He flipped me off today.
Are you really?
Yeah, because on Friday, a coworker of mine asked if I could send him a picture of the schedule, and I sent him a picture of me flipping him off. And then the first thing I saw him was, "Oh, I owe you one of these." And he flipped me off. Very funny. He's a cool coworker.
Is it now? Are we violating our NDA by telling people who we flicked off at work?
No,
Because I've been keeping that under wraps, and if we are sharing it, I've got a large list right here.
I think I'd only violate the NDA if I told you something embarrassing our boss did. Or something. Like, oh no.
Yeah, then suddenly our boss, who's been aware of our show for years, has been watching. Yeah.
All right. Why don't we go ahead and cut to this sketch, and when we come back, we'll have our guest ready to talk to us about why they hate crockpots.
And Instant Pots.
This clip sketch is called Gift of the Mad Guy.
Yeah.
All right, play it.
Yeah.
And we're back. What a fun sketch that was to film and watch. Last go with the guy in the sound booth, if you couldn't tell. He's a funny guy.
He's a fantastic engineer as well.
And a fantastic person is who our guest is today. You know her as one of the producers of Grown Up Storytime. You know her as the owner of Paw and Order. You know her as the creator and host of Emily Takes Notes. Please give it up for Emily Hines. Hey, thanks for coming back to the show, Emily.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And yourselves?
Yeah, doing all right today.
We got 2 heaters going in our front room right now from different directions, trying to make a
You should
whirlwind.
put one under the desk to heat your feet.
Ooh, we got one kind of shooting.
We got one right here. I can tilt it. I gotta finish this wing order real quick. I'm sorry.
Sorry, we didn't finish ordering our Wingstop wings. Did
What
you
if
know?
wings are banned?
Wait, what?
What if wings are banned?
See, okay, we're gonna get to that in a second, and don't make jokes like that. That is insane for you to do.
Emily, did you know that you could get dinner rolls from Wingstop? Could you imagine how unhinged you have to be to just order like, oh, I'll just get a couple dinner rolls?
I bet that's not that unusual. I mean, you might want some bread to like when you eat saucy things,
I
right?
suppose so.
That's true.
Wipe it up. I'm a dry rub guy. I think that's why I think it's so far-fetched. What am I going to wipe up my dry rub?
If you are a dry rub person, does that mean do you have like a dipping sauce? I don't know how wings work. So
Okay, see, that was gonna be my question: is do you even like wings? And it sounds like you don't.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like them.
Do you like ribs?
I don't dislike them. I think they're really messy and like a lot of work for what you get out of them,
Yeah.
which is also how I feel about crawfish.
Oh,
They're not banned, but I just personally don't love them.
that makes sense.
Do you not like any foods that, I was going to say like processed foods that require a process to eat them? Like pistachios, maybe? Like any
I
food
actually
that
love
requires you to like
pistachios.
actively work per
I like
portion.
pistachios. I think it's the messiness that I don't like.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm almost done. Oh, what? My payment method's not even on this
Oh,
shit.
jeez.
It's almost done. I have it all saved. I got the smartphone.
No, don't worry, Connor. I got this. Emily, for your first interview question, what's your credit card number?
Joke's
right.
on you. I don't have a credit card.
Damn it.
Really? You don't have? Are those banned too?
No, they're not. I have a debit card. I don't have a
Okay.
I have a debit card too. I don't have a credit card. Now, I do want to ask you about the banning. You were going off in the chat about things that are banned.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, can you please explain what is the ban report?
Hashtag band report.
Hashtag ban report is this idea I had a while ago where I was getting into animation and I was like, I know what I'll do. I'll as just like an exercise, I'll make an animation about all the things that I take issue with and think should be banned. So I started the ban report. And it was really just an excuse for me to go off, as they say, on things that I take issue with. I think legitimately, I have legitimate reasons to think these things should be banned. But then I kind of stopped doing animation, so I never really went anywhere with it. But I definitely do still have like a running list of banned things, not just even items, but like, you know, all things could possibly be banned.
That's true.
Everything qualifies for a banning.
Yeah.
What's your beef with the pots, the instants, and the Crocs?
I think you should just cook on the stove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like just put a pot
Okay.
on the stove.
That's
or the
fair.
oven. I don't, especially with small kitchens, I'm like very anti having all of these different things that you have to also plug into the wall or whatever. I think you should cook in a pot on the stove. It's fine. Especially now, we're home all the time anyways. It's
That's
not like
very
you
true.
Yeah.
need to like leave it alone or like worry about. I think the thing with crockpots is that people feel safe leaving it when they go to work.
Yeah.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. But
I
I
plug
know
mine in
people are
outside.
fine. I feel like we're spending more time at home now.
So can what we've made in the crock pot is just a soup. So I guess we can just make a soup for
Yeah.
hours on end on
We
the
would
top
just-
of the stove. I don't know all about that.
Yeah. Or the oven. Stick it in the oven. The oven is basically a giant crock pot.
What other things in 2020 have made the band report?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I wish I had put a little bit more thought into this because it has been a while since I have like actively worked on the band report. But for sure, gatherings are banned.
Mm-hmm.
Fair, yeah.
And sorry, everyone. Maybe even holidays.
Mm-hmm.
I am
all
in favor
in.
of banning holidays.
All in on that one.
yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and ban a lot of politicians. There's too many to name.
Yeah.
They're banned. I'm gonna ban the Electoral College also. I have the research to back up this ban. Let's see what else. Can I like come back with some bans
Absolutely.
if I
Sure. Can I suggest one for the ban list?
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19.
Yeah.
Can we just go ahead and ban that whole thing? We
Yeah,
can.
I mean, I think we're in the process. There's a vaccine now.
Hell yeah! Finally hit Houston. That's very very cool.
Did you guys see the photo of the box?
No.
It was all over
No.
the news. It was just a box on a dolly, and it's like, it's here.
What if they pull out the vaccine and the needle's like an inch thick? I was like, oh no thanks, I'm okay. I think I'll
That's
take my
why they
chances.
Just showed the box. They didn't show the
Yeah, that's the first one. Is the entire box. It's a suppository.
Now you mentioned that there are some politicians that you would like to ban. There's too many to count, but you have been spending COVID or quarantine following a group of politicians very near and dear to the hearts of many Houstonians. I'm talking, of course, about the Houston City Council. Now, you have been following them and summarizing all of the city council meetings and putting your notes on Instagram. And I want to ask, what got you into that? Why did you decide to start doing that?
I started doing it when after George Floyd was murdered, and there were a lot of protests going on that I wasn't able to go to because my parents are very high risk for COVID, and I provide informal care for them. So I can't really be around anyone. But I still I was brainstorming about how I could be civically engaged. And at that same time, there was that a committee meeting, the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee meeting, where they were talking about the budget for the police department. And it was like the week before they were going to pass the budget. So a bunch of people were calling into that meeting to encourage city council to revise the budget or at least delay it. So that was the first meeting that I attended because I was like, oh, I can attend that and take notes on what everyone is saying. And then that was my first meeting. And then I don't really go to committee meetings anymore. I switched to going to the just regular weekly meetings, but that was what got me started.
Can I ask, you say you don't go to the committee meetings anymore. Do you go to the public comment sessions?
If I'm commenting, I do. And if I have time, I do.
Okay.
And it also kind of depends on how many people are signed up too. Like that wasn't a public comment session, the Public Safety and Homeland Security meeting, but it accepted public comments and it lasted all day because so many people were signed up. But usually, I've been to public comment sessions where there's 5 people signed up, so they're super fast. So it kind of depends on how much time I have to spend and how much time I think that meeting is going to take. And also if there's a big item that is going to get commented on too, I'll want to go and just kind of track how many people are commenting on what. So I don't attend the public comment sessions as often, but I do like going to them.
Now, I loved public comment sessions because you get to see some of the kookiest Houstonians.
I was gonna say you kind of based a whole show off of the public comment section of
Yeah. Sometimes it's really, really. You get to see sometimes very serious comments being thrown around about important agenda items. And then sometimes you have people who are talking about these crazy conspiracy theories that they are convinced is happening in their own backyard. It's like next door incarnate in city council. And I wanted to ask Emily if you had any memorable public comment sessions that you have witnessed.
They're fun. I think local politics are fun. Like, just they're so much more fun than national politics because of the wacky characters that you get. Yeah, anyways, I'm trying to think of one of the cooler ones. Oh, the most recent one I can think of is this lady. This isn't that funny, but it is crazy. Is this lady basically bought a home and then her neighbor took issue with her for some reason and like steals her packages and has a crazy dog that she will like kind of threaten her with and just kind of terrorizes this lady. And she is at her wit's end and doesn't know what to do. And there's really nothing that the council can do either. But she's just like, what do I do? And so they were trying to call in some arbitrator services to get in between them. And I wish I could remember it was the trash cans. Like, this lady kept either dumping out her trash cans or moving them so that they wouldn't get picked up. Like, it was a specifically trash related thing. Like, she kept messing with this lady's trash every week so she couldn't get her trash picked up. And I just couldn't imagine. I was just thinking, like, obviously there's something wrong with this neighbor to act out in that way, and that's not funny. But what a crazy situation. And also like what a crazy thing to call in to city council for. Like, what are they gonna do?
There's only one funny neighbor dispute on record, and it's when that guy kicked Rand Paul's ass for blowing leaves into his yard too many times. That's the only time that we can laugh at neighbors fighting. Or in Neighbors and Neighbors 2, starring Seth Rogen and Zac Efron, now viewable on Netflix.
I was gonna say to go with the season. I love when a neighbor does not like another neighbor's light setup for the holidays. They're just like,
Christmas?
yeah, they're like, oh, there's too many lights, or like it's not enough lights to go with our neighborhood. Like, our neighborhood has an upstanding tradition of lights.
Like an HOA, trying to be overbearing. I was always the bad neighbor. Whenever I came home from college, I would always make my neighbor's reindeer.
A little reindeer mounting.
Yeah, I was that guy in the neighborhood, always doing that. Just drunk at like 10 p.m. Like, this is fun.
It's important to give the neighborhood kids a lesson in nature.
Yeah,
they
biology.
I'm a biology teacher.
K Rages has a pretty good question in the chat. Name your favorite neighbor versus neighbor movie. Hers is The Burbs, and Odom even said American Beauty. Wow. I guess that technically is a neighbor versus neighbor movie. Yeah. Do you get into the neighbor versus neighbor films?
Is The Burbs the one with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that one too.
Ooh.
That's like the first one that comes to mind.
Dang, that is a good one.
The one that just popped into my head because Cody and I were talking about it last week is not Christmas Story, but the sequel to Christmas Story, A Summer Story.
Oh, that's right.
AKA It Runs in the Family. A lot of it has to do with the dad of Christmas Story fighting with his neighbors, the ones with all the dogs who eat his Christmas ham. It's great. It's a laugh riot.
Sandlot is a good one too. That's like a neighbor.
Yeah.
Neighbor story.
Sandlot is pretty good. What I'm trying to think, does Christmas Vacation count? National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
I don't know.
No? All right, never mind then. I'm not going to use it. Okay. Now, now everyone's talking about Anise Parker. Everyone says only Anise Parker can fix your neighbor squabbles. We got a big thing. You've watched the show before. You know, Anise Parker has become this legendary mythological character within our chat, and everyone's got a Anise Parker impression.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people play Anise Parker, much like a Cloud Atlas situation where they're Anise Parker in different lives.
Convinced I hung out with Anise Parker at a dog park once.
What?
I don't know if it was really her, but it really seemed like her.
It could have just been a terrier.
It was just someone claiming they were the mayor, and you're like, okay, whatever, man.
She didn't say she was Anise Parker, but I think it was Anise Parker.
Gotcha.
Don't even in the chat just said Anise Barker.
Oh, that's getting some LMAOs.
That's pretty good.
It's getting some good response.
Gets one from me.
Now, before we move on, let's keep talking about the city council thing. So you put these notes on Instagram after every session, and you've recently started a new project relating to your city council notes. It's a podcast called Emily Takes Notes. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, wherever podcasts are found. Emily, can you talk a little bit about this new podcast that you're doing?
Yes. I think it's funny to talk about it like this because Connor and I are working on it together. And Connor basically was like the driving force in getting it started. I have received feedback from people that they wanted some kind of audio or even video summarization and just maybe something to like listen in the car or if they didn't have time to read or put it on while they're cooking. So yeah, it's basically just the notes. I attend the meeting and then I take notes and I send them over to Connor. And Connor bangs out a script, and then we make some adjustments on it, and then Joe and I record it. Joe's my husband. And we did one test episode and sent it to friends, and they said they liked it. Mm-hmm. So we did our first like official one last week, and I like it. I haven't done any kind of podcast thing in a while, so it really takes some getting used to, and I like it. I think it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm happy to do anything that will get people more engaged in their local government because I think it, like I was saying earlier, it's really fun and goofy and silly, and people don't know that, and they think it's boring. And like, yeah, all government is boring, but there's just a lot of characters and situations and actual policies that affect you so much more than national politics do. So anything that I can reasonably do to help people get more engaged, I am down to try.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
It's really fun, and I did want to say when you were saying that it's actually interesting, like it's not that boring. Is on the last meeting, you got to see the mayor pro tem just like tell the mayor he loved him, and it was very sweet and weird all at once.
It's weird. It was so weird.
It was very. I was watching with you guys.
Like if you go to the mayor pro tem's website, you know, he talks about how sentence number 1 in his description is how he's trying to keep conservative principles in government on the local level, and that's not something that really comes out that much with him when he's talking about policies and whatnot. But yeah, it's just interesting how everyone works so much more cohesively in general on a local level too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he straight up told the mayor that he loves him and was making verbal love to him.
The mayor was also talking a lot about getting fired from his church choir.
Oh,
I walked in the room like 3 times and he was still talking about it.
What were they
Joker.
Yeah.
What were they doing? They were doing like some talent competition or something. And he's like, I tried to do the choir, and the choir director kicked me out of the choir. And then 10 minutes later, he goes, I just got a text from that choir director.
It was a good running joke.
It was fun. I told Ned the only other city council meeting I saw that I thought was like funny, undeniably funny, was during Anise Parker's term when she told the mayor of L.A. that if the Dynamo beat the Galaxy, he had to wear a Houston jersey and vice versa. And she walks in with the LA jersey on, and she's not in a very good mood. Like, I see we lost. This is very funny. Well, good on you for doing that. I think it's really great, and I'm really excited to get into the weeds with you about like what we can actually see this go into, because we were talking about the TERS. The hang on, I got it pulled up here specifically. It is a tax increment reinvestment zone, or TERS, and I'm looking at 2 infographics, and I still have no idea what it is. I would never be able to explain it. And I would really love for us to be able to get a cohesive grasp of what it is and educate each other, and as well as the city of Houston, because it's an acronym you see everywhere.
It's really cool to do some breakout episodes like that where we tackle the TERS or we tackle tax abatement or something like that have so much impact on us. But that's the stuff that I think people glaze over because they just hear these words they don't know and they're just like, I can't even with it, which is totally understandable. So yeah, I think I'm excited and interested to get on those subjects and make them more accessible and digestible for people, and also just be able to tell them like, this is how it affects you, and you are not interested because you don't know that, but this is what it actually does.
I wonder, are there any other topics that you're excited to tackle beyond the TERS?
Yeah, I think the TERS, I think tax abatements. I would like to get into the climate action plan that Houston has, and also just our recycling program too. There's a lot of gray area and things that people, I don't think that, I only have experience with Houston, but it probably is local governments in general. I don't think they're very good about communicating their policies to the public. So I think that there's a lot of cool programs in Houston that exist that just nobody has any idea about. And that's not their fault. That's the city's fault.
Yeah.
So
it's like that one year they had all those audio-based grants with Houston Arts Alliance, and no one applied for one. Like, there are 5 grants just up for grabs, and just everyone had a podcast, and nobody was applying. It's crazy. So yeah, we definitely. I'm excited for the opportunity to do more stuff like that for the city of Houston. And thank you for letting me help you. I'm very honored.
Thank you for wanting to help.
Oh, yeah.
Because it does take time. So that is, I'm really grateful for people that want to spend time on it, and for you, Connor.
Thank you. If anybody wants to help us, please chime in.
And as someone who listened to that test episode, I want to say that, yes, it is extremely digestible. It was very easy to comprehend and listen to. So everyone should listen to it.
Thank you.
Yeah, for real.
Now, another thing I'm helping you with, that Ned and I are helping you with, is Grown Up Story Time. Yeah. And Grown Up Story Time is going to be happening tomorrow night. And as I understand, there's been some changes to, it's not going to be on YouTube. Is it going to be on YouTube this time around?
No, it's going to be on YouTube. The only change that we made was that the show was free basically to watch, and we asked audience members to just donate if they could. But we're switching it up. We are, I don't know any other way to say it, but we're really poor. We're kind of experiencing hardship. So like Storytime is. So we're changing it up a little bit. So this month and probably going forward, we're going to have, if you want to join the watch party on Tuesday, you have to Venmo us in advance and we'll send you a link, or you can just register through Eventbrite. But we're asking everyone who wants to come to the watch party, just give us $5 and then you get a link to the watch party. And then after Tuesday, we'll put the show up like usual, and the watch party will be on YouTube. And then after Tuesday, we'll upload all the videos and they'll live on YouTube. So they'll still be accessible. They'll still be shareable for free after the show. But if you want to come to the show, we're just asking everyone to pay in advance.
Cool. Now, it's been a crazy year for everyone, including Grown Up Storytime. I know tomorrow is going to be the absolute end of this year's Grown Up Storytime run, but how do you feel y'all have done in adjusting to this digital-only platform?
I'm really proud of us for figuring out how to make it happen. Before March, we were always at Rudyard's doing in-person shows, and like sometimes we would live stream them, but the audio was never good. It was definitely not a focus. So switching to being virtual only was just a whole thing of figuring out, well, how do we want to do it? Do we want to do it live? Do we want to do it pre-recorded? And so the first couple months was a lot of figuring it out and a lot of relying on our friends like you guys to help us figure it out, and asking tons of questions, and also asking questions from our audience to see what they wanted and or would prefer. And people still wanted grown-up storytime. That was one question we had too, was like, should we just take a break? Should we pause? And we didn't end up doing that. And I'm really glad that we kept doing it. And we still have people sending us stories, and we still have people wanting to perform, and we have audience members responding positively to the virtual show. So yeah, I don't think it's like, we never probably would have tried to switch it to a virtual only format for sure, but I'm proud of us for figuring out how to do it. And I'm really grateful for the people who helped, and grateful for the audience who still thinks that grown-up storytime is something that they want to consume. And I think one positive thing that I've heard from a lot of arts organizations is how they are going to go moving forward post-pandemic, is making sure that having their content available virtually is something they want to keep doing no matter what in the future, which I think is really great because it makes everything more accessible to people who can't get out of the house or don't want to, or just something comes up, or that don't live in your city. I think that that's going to be the major positive for arts organizations moving forward, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, good on you. I think that you have two guys who just really can't figure it out. We're horrible, but all of your guest producers have just really pushed the boundary of what that show is able to do, and I've seen some really cool creativity, not just from the guest producers, but also the readers. And I
was gonna say the most exciting part is seeing how many different lives Grown Up Storytime has taken, not just by producer, but each person who tells a story films their story in a certain way, and some people have taken like creative ways of filming those stories, or you just get a look inside that reader's house, and that's just an extra piece of flavor to it. I love it.
I feel like we've found out that Grown Up Storytime audience are kind of creeping on readers' houses. Like, that was some of the feedback we got. We did a survey, and they're like, I was like, what should we do? Should we change the format or whatever? And they were like, we really like getting to see inside people's homes.
More home tours.
Yeah.
It's like they finally get to leave their house and look at someone else's house. I also like that we've, and I know once we go back to doing the show in person, this won't really happen as often, but we've been able to see people in the scene, such as like Oja Lopez, who moved, and we got to see her read a story, and that was so awesome.
Yeah.
And I think that this, y'all have taken this and really turned it into an opportunity in a lot of aspects. And I'm grateful to y'all for keeping it going and trying to keep some semblance of normalcy within our community, and I thank you for it. So that's my most emotional thing to say today. We are now at 8:53, so I think it's about time for our last segment. Bear with us.
Let's jump into it.
Yeah, let's sing the song.
Me.
I want a new plug. Tell us what's going on. Tell us all the stuff you're doing after we sing this song. All right, Emily, what would you like to plug?
I will plug Grown Up Storytime happening tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 p.m. Like I said earlier, if you want to join the watch party tomorrow, which is super fun, and I hope you do, you can Venmo at Gust Houston, $5, and we'll send you a link, or you can click the Eventbrite. It's on the Facebook page, and it's also on our Instagram bio.
Yeah.
And then I'll plug Emily Takes Notes, which is the podcast that Connor and I produce about city council meetings. I will attend on Wednesday, and so probably Thursday that'll come out. I think that's probably all I have to plug.
Okay.
Fantastic. And that podcast is live now. Like we can go find it.
I think so. Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
Before I move on to what Ned and I want to plug, we did have one audience question for you, which is, what about the annual rat shadow puppet thing at Poison Girl? Can you do that online?
We could, but we're not going to. That was that was for the Poison Girl anniversary show. So we used to do a puppet show, a shadow puppet show every year for their anniversary show, which was always in like September, I think. But that was a Bootown thing, and Bootown doesn't exist anymore. So R.I.P. Bootown. Yeah, shadow puppet shows will live on in our hearts only.
Shadow puppets are banned. You heard it here
banned
first.
them.
Yeah, they're merely a shadow of the shadow puppet they once were.
All right, Ned, what do you have to plug?
I'm at Ned of the Dead on everything possible, anything. You could find me on the social network Path as at Ned of the Dead. And follow Honey, I Shrunk the Binge. We've got new episodes coming out every Wednesday. I just looked to my left, and that was just written on a piece of paper next to me, so I'll just show it. And you can find that on Spotify now. That's very exciting. And that's about it. Just follow my Instagram. I'm posting paintings a lot.
All right, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CryptoCurrency. I say it every week. Go ahead and get excited for Grown Up Storytime tomorrow. Get excited for Thursday's episode of Emily Takes Notes. And then go ahead and go on to Spotify and look at and listen to our new episode of Is That a Foul? That's right. I found the lost episode from earlier this year. Cody and I make a bunch of wild predictions about COVID. Now
It
it's all
is
gonna-
very surreal listening to the episode because it's right as COVID started.
Yeah, right when the NBA canceled, we were like, "What's gonna happen?" And Cody and we're hoping to put out some more episodes of that moving forward. So keep watching, keep listening, keep reaching for the stars,
And just keep raging.
keep raging, and hey, keep the conversation going. On our Discord, the Rage Cord, go ahead, click that link, join in. Tell us what you thought about the app. Tell us what you thought about this great app. Tell us what you want us to relay to Emily. And then I think that'll be it for our show tonight. I got nothing else. Ned?
No, that's it for me. Emily, do you have any final words you want to throw to anyone?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you every time you're on. All right. Bye.
Bye.